So, meine Damen und Herren, meine Freaks and Geeks, meine Queers und Straights, jetzt geht's schon weiter. Der ist nicht nur ein Schauspieler, sondern auch ein Synchronsprecher. Der ist, ja, ich würde sagen, in viele Videogame-Serien dabei, so wie Elder Scrolls, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty. Richtig beeindruckende Liste. Aber wahrscheinlich am bekanntesten als Deucalion. Habe ich das richtig gesagt? Did I say it right? Deucalion? Von Teen Wolf. Meine Damen und Herren, Mr. Gideon Emery. Team G Captain. Huh? Captain Team G of... Team G... We made it out of the first round.
Axe throwing was terrible.
Hello. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I'm going to have some water.
Could have like a teleprompter there, and then
I know, it would have been nice.
Oh, that's for the... Okay, wait. Ma chérie amour, lovely as a summer's day.
We're doing that later.
Oh, there is karaoke.
There's karaoke later.
Oh, there is karaoke. That's right.
So maybe we'll get a full version later. So axe
Thank
throwing,
you both of you for coming.
Axe throwing didn't go as planned, but I think we did well.
There was no plan.
Because there was no plan.
It was perfect.
It was brilliant. Where am I? Oh, you know what I love? That you were the voice of Krampus.
So Krampus, I did like creature sounds.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's still cool.
Creature Krampusing sounds. Yeah, once in a while I do creature voices. So yeah, that's always fun because just like you're looking at like Krampus going over roofs and stuff, like and then doing that sort of stuff.
Did you know the story of Krampus before you did that or not?
I did not.
And do you love the story of Krampus now?
Love
because
it.
it's the best.
It's the best,
right?
Of course, it's the best.
Who has Krampus visit their house? You? Okay. Knecht Ruprecht? A couple more. So like the not so hardcore areas of Germany in the Alpine region, instead of Krampus, it's Knecht Ruprecht, who is like, instead of a demon, he's just kind of like a guy, but like a dirty, like, I don't know if he's like a pedo or what, but he's a dirty, like chimney sweep, not the best kind of guy, maybe homeless, I'm not sure, but also somebody you don't want to hang out with.
So maybe houses that don't have chimneys.
Correct.
Is the way forward.
That would be.
Yeah.
But then he just crosses.
All the new builds have no chimneys, I understand.
So that's safe.
Yeah. Okay.
What is, because I always like to talk about differences, what is, well, differences and similarities between stage and screen and voice, yeah. What would you say?
So, yeah, that's a good question. And
would you like water?
I hear a few times, no, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Do you think I should have some? I mean, not now, but...
No, I'm just saying that because there's one there.
That's right, just being stupid. What's nice about voiceover, obviously, is you don't get cast based on how you look. So I get to play, good characters and heroes and a wider range of characters than I'm brought in for on camera. Because on camera, mainly I get cast as villains, especially working in Los Angeles, where it's still very kind of looks driven. So if you have a bit of character in the face, like I do, and also if you have a foreign accent, I mean, I still, work in an American accent half of the time, but then immediately they're like, oh, okay, he could be a bad guy, So yes, I would like to, you didn't ask me what I would like to do,
no, but go ahead.
But just sort of to segue, it'd be nice to do something comedic, on
That's
camera.
That's what Carrie said earlier.
But I started off doing stand-up comedy, actually, when I started my career.
In the States or in England?
No, in South Africa, actually.
Really?
So, but then I was only considered for funny stuff, and I wanted to do like some serious theater, and so I had to actively stop auditioning for comedy, and then to kind of like shift their perception. But then once I arrived in LA, it was very much like, oh, okay, you are in the sort of the foreign bag
you are
of
an intense foreign
bad
guy
and character. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. But I enjoy both. But when I haven't been doing one of them for a period of time, then I really
miss the
miss
other
that.
one?
So right now I'm missing on camera. Yeah.
Before, because we're going to play a game in a second, but before we do that, because I'm going to forget if I don't ask you now, why is it that, like, those with a British or South African, Australian accent have an easier time to put on a North American, Canadian accent than North Americans putting on a British accent? Is that so? It feels like that to me. I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, I got a couple of theories. I don't think that's always true, for one thing. But I do hear you. I think I don't necessarily think that it's easier for them, but I think there's a tendency for actors from Europe and elsewhere to go a traditional like drama school or actor training route. You know, so then they have theater training and they do voice training and this sort of thingy. So that's what I had. Whereas most American actors who work on camera they haven't been to acting school. Not to diss them, but they just don't have the same formal training. There's on-camera classes in LA and stuff, but there is sort of largely the American sort of screen acting system is sort of do nothing, you know, it's subtle and it's very real and whatnot, but there isn't, they haven't gone through the same thing where they would have exposure to and then develop that muscle, if you will. So that's my theory, is that like, oh, I'm used to, because I grew up doing that stuff, and they're not convinced. Yeah. But it's all right. We'll catch you tomorrow, guys. Okay. Auf Wiedersehen.
Just.
But so I think there's that maybe, but I also think that with the American, like the sort of standard American accent, where it's like layering something on top of the, like if you're British, if you speak English as a first language European speaker, I think it is something you can layer on top, whereas for an American, they have to take something away with the R's maybe in order to sound more like more British or RP, you know, like receive pronunciation, that very proper speak. So I think it's a little bit harder maybe rhythmically to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting that you say that, because I would until just now I would have thought the opposite, because like I'm currently doing rehearsals for a production where I have to play a Brit, and for me it's I have to add something on top of my voice somehow. But maybe you're right. No, you're taking R's off.
I mean,
you're changing
it obviously
vowels.
is a layer. I think regardless of whether if it's not your native accent, you know, it is still
because you did that seamlessly just now.
Yeah, but that's because I've been doing it for a long time, I think, you know. But it is definitely a layer, and I think what often gives away the accent is when people get emotional.
Yeah.
And I've definitely seen Brits, you know, when they're playing Americans, and they're like, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go there, you know. And then suddenly, like, oh,
that's not
right.
Know?
But I mean, there's some people who, you know, there was what's his name, Anthony LaPaglia, who was in one of these like long-running TV series. He's Australian, and I had no idea.
Really?
And and I sort of pride myself on going like, oh, well, I know there.
Oh yeah,
or
he's
hearing
from New
little
York
bits or something, you know. Yeah. So I mean, there's some people who surprise you, you know. But yeah.
Well, who's Brad Dourif?
He's so good,
right?
One of I Love a Man in Uniform. Have you seen that movie?
No, I have
not.
Oh my
gosh, I think that's him. Is that him? But I know it's him from like Wormwood or whatever his name was.
Correct.
Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, what a great character actor.
Well, yeah, Grimma Wormtuck. And that just made me think of that, because I had the chance to talk to Bernard Hill.
Is he Canadian or what?
I don't know if he's Canadian, but he's North American. I know that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was that like he had done such a good job that Bernard had thought he was like messing around when he went to his original North American accent. He was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "No, this is how I talk." No, shut up.
No, I mean, and that used to be back in the day when actors used to go into casting offices to audition, because like now it's all remote, and it's not because of COVID. It's partly because of COVID, because they gave up their expensive things. It's much easier, yeah. But I would love going in, and if the part was American, I would go in and and be American from when I enter the thing, because otherwise, I'm going to give them
Right.
something in their head where they're like, wait a minute,
well,
you
he
sound
was
a
good,
little
but,
bit. So then I would do the thing, and they go, oh, great, and they'd have like a little chat after or whatever, and then I would just drop into my British accent. No, I mean, I think it could be, and they're like, what?
No, what?
And then it was like a fun sort of like trick,
Yeah.
sort of thing to do, but you don't have that anymore. So
That's too bad. So before the public gets a chance to ask you questions, we are going to play 2 truths and a lie. And the reason I asked you about this 3 hours ago was so that you could prepare.
right. And I did not prepare, but I'll come up with something. I was more focused on feeding myself after.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
After the cold
After the
axe
cold
throwing,
axe throwing tournament,
Yeah.
where we came in 3rd place? No, we came in 4th place.
We were, yeah. It was fun though. It was fun.
We weren't last. High five. We weren't last.
There we go.
We weren't last.
And we got a couple in. So 2 truths and 2 lies and 1 truth. Two truths and 1 lie.
Yeah.
2 truths and 1 lie. Okay.
And this is going to be difficult because I don't know you at all.
Okay.
Lock it in. Just decide. I see that mischievous smile. Is it mischievous or mischievous?
Mischievous. Well, a lot of people say mischievous, but there's no second I.
No, there's not.
But, damn it, you're not helping me. Okay, here we have, so I'll give you 3.
Okay.
I have run a marathon.
Okay.
I was born near the Queen, and I love beetroot.
Run a marathon, born near the Queen, love beetroot. That's weird. Who loves beetroot? Like, are you Russian? Do you have Russian roots?
Нет. Немного.
Okay. Well, okay. Can I ask where you were born?
No.
God damn it. Because you're fit. I would believe that you have run a marathon. So I believe you have run a marathon. I don't think you were born near the Queen. I do think you love beetroot. So 2 truths are marathon beetroot. The lie is that you were born near the Queen.
Beetroot is a lie. Your instinct was correct. Different years, though, with the birth thing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So, public, now is your chance to ask.
You look fabulous.
Das schon. She does look good. I'm
Suddenly
always
appeared
impressed
there.
by all of the costumes
No, I know.
in these
Cosplay
places.
is
I love it.
awesome. Hi. If I have to audition for a role as a, and then I lost you.
Voiceover.
A voiceover.
Yep.
Okay. Man, that's a good question, because it's also like auditions now. You're just recording at home and emailing the file, so you don't get any feedback. I don't know if I have a great answer for you, to be honest. Maybe this. I used to be quite conservative with my choices. So if, let's say, let's say the script. Let's say the script is, come on down to the Proud Nerd Winter Festival. It's going to be incredible. And my tendency in years past would have been just to like, oh, okay, so like come on down to the Proud Nerd Winter Festival. It's going to be incredible. But if you have a stronger choice, lead with that one. Even if you're doing 2 takes in a row, because they're going to probably listen to 2 takes if they like the quality in your voice. More than 2 takes, I don't think they're going to listen, to be honest. But lead with your stronger choice, your bigger choice, your bolder choice. So if you had another idea of like, come on down to the Proud Nerd Winter Festival, whatever. But I would say, go with your strong choice first. And if you only have 1 take, perhaps do that, because there will be 1,000 other people who are doing, that sort of standard read that you're thinking. So do something that makes you a little bit more unique, as long as it's still, within the parameters. But yeah, I think I would probably say that, because I feel like I've seen maybe more success where I've tried to bring more of myself. If you're bringing more of your unique something that maybe you can speak to that copy, if it's a vocal quality or accent or something, even if it doesn't specify that, just a little quality of something. Yeah.
Good question. Thank you. In the back.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
What was the first question again?
So the first question, I can elucidate. So the first question I mentioned at the autograph, she said, have you got something coming up? Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm in a movie that's going to be on Amazon called G20.
Okay.
And Viola Davis plays the president, and she's at the G20 conference. She's president of the United States. And then there's a whole sort of kidnap type thing, and I play in that. I don't kidnap her though, so I'm actually not the villain, surprisingly enough. But the second question: what has been the hardest role for me? I don't. I mean, I've kind of loved most of the stuff that I've done and haven't thought of it really as being hard. I mean, certainly there's nothing hard about an actor playing roles, quite honestly, I don't think. I think there's a lot of sort of actors being indulgent about this was a really heavy role and I had to live with it. It's like you don't have to live with it. Obviously, there's some dark material which, people can choose to take or not take. But I think, once, it's like cut, and it's a wrap for the end of the day. It's like, go home, don't take it with you. It's there's a sort of I'm going off
No, it's okay.
track here, but there's this method acting myth where, if you're committed to a role, that means, you are that character the whole time. It's like, and that's not true, because if I'm playing Abraham Lincoln, then I would be, wandering off, and it's like, no, I'm told where to stand, what the scene is about. I'm given lines to say, it's, and then when they tell me to stop talking, cut, then it's over. It is make believe, so it's a very arrogant, indulgent thing, I think, when actors do this thing. That's not your question, I know, but I had the need to say that.
Nice dodge. That was a good dodge.
The hardest thing, I mean, I guess Deucalion was interesting, seeing as we're talking about that, and that's maybe why some people have come to see me, but because I'm playing a blind man in this thing, and I really didn't want it to feel like a parody or a caricature, and I wanted him to be very, very elegant. So I think that was probably, it was challenging in the sense I didn't have a lot of prep time. I think from when I was called back, and then when I booked the job, it was maybe, it wasn't long at all, maybe 10 days, 2 weeks at most before I started working. So it wasn't like I had weeks of preparation to go and study blind people, or work closely with somebody. But I tried to be sort of sensitive to people who are vision impaired, and also, I mean, I was also helped by the writing of the character, where he was quite eloquent and smartly written. But I think the biggest challenge for me is actually less specific roles and more like long night shoots, because they just like wear you down, and stuff like what's called block shooting, and that's when say we have like a bunch of scenes and it's you guys are here and I'm here. It doesn't matter how many of us there are. We're all actors, let's say. But for purposes of making our day and all the shots we have to get, they'll shoot everything with the cameras going in this direction, and then eventually turn the camera around, because it takes like an hour for them to do that and set up and then shoot my coverage. And so sometimes what will happen, if you don't have a lot of budget on a movie or a TV show, is they'll block shoot everything going this direction. So that means, can you imagine imagine all the dialogue, all the conversations you've had today, and then we're filming your part, and then at like 6 o'clock tonight, they're going to move the cameras around, and then you have to remember exactly what you did earlier in the day and do it all again, because now the camera's on me, sort of thing, So that I find challenging, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what choices did I make earlier, And then sometimes, like Teen Wolf is a good example, they did so well on the budget that they had. They were phenomenal. But I remember specifically stuff where I was working with the other actors, and then they had to take them away after we'd finished filming them in that scene to go do something else on another stage, another set. And then they got my coverage, which is like my part of the conversation, and then there was just somebody reading their lines, just next to the camera, that's challenging, because you're trying to remember the performance that the actor brought, but someone's just going like, hey, so Deucalion, why are you here? So I don't know if I made any sense, but yeah.
I understood it, at least.
But thank you for the questions.
Thank you for the question. Very good. Gideon, thank you for taking the time to chat with us today.
That's all we have time for, folks. But listen, I'm going to be here all weekend.
Yes.
And
yes, you are.
Feel free to ask me some more questions.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow.
And we'll see each other tomorrow on stage, and we'll also see each other
at the karaoke, for sure.
At the
now
karaoke,
I've discovered there's karaoke.
Definitely.
I'm pointing at the screen which just says Proud Nerd. But
yeah. And then
what time is karaoke?
What time is karaoke?
What time is karaoke? Karaoke.
Wie viel Uhr? Nee, karaoke.
7:50. 7:50. Okay.
7:15.
Wunderbar.
Karaoke.
Well, we'll see you.
We'll see you then.
That sounds like fun. Okay, cool.
Gideon Emery,
okay.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Let's go.